What is the thing you remember most about the 70s?
Big hair.
Okay. What is one thing you wish you would have paid more attention to?
History.
Okay. Um, do you remember anything about Ford and Carter?
Not really.
What do you remember about them?
Remember, Jimmy Carter was from the South. He liked peanuts. He was a Democrat.
Okay. What was the economy like compared to today?
The economy compared to today, um, actually, the 70s was better than the early 80s as far as economy wise. That's when there was the big farm crash, was in the early 80s. So in the 70s, um, money markets were good. Um, and you could make a living off of one parent working, where today it takes both parents working to make a average lifestyle living.
Okay. Um, okay, so 40 years later, do you think it's more expensive or like harder to go to college and get a job?
I think it's not harder to go to college, but it's more expensive to go to college.
So is that easier to obtain or not?
I think a college degree is more accessible to all incomes of life versus in the 70s, if you were low income, it was hard for you to go to college. But today, it's more expensive, but yet more accessible for
Kid to do.
every graduate that wants to go to college can obtain that if they so desire.
Okay. Um, do you think that Iowa has become more ethnically like diverse?
Yes.
How?
Where I went to school, my alma mater, which is now East Marshall, there was never a black person, Indian, Asian, and today I think you can see that in your own school that it is diversified, and that is not just at East Marshall, it is at every school in the surrounding communities.
Okay. So in the like 70s, late 70s, was it easy to find a job?
It was easy to find a job, but they paid minimum wage.
Okay. Um, what did you do for fun in your free time or on the weekends?
We went to Marshalltown and we called what we called Scoop the Loop. And back then, the main street of Marshalltown was one way. So you went about 3 blocks and then you went down a block and you did this, just kept scooping these 3 or 4 blocks around downtown Marshalltown. That was where we went on a Saturday night, was Marshalltown. Um, our hangout place was Zeno's Pizza, which is still there today. And we got done scooping the loop. You went to J.C. Penney's parking lot and parked your car and just hung out and chit chatted with all your friends from your hometown, Marshalltown, and other surrounding communities.
Okay. Um, who did you vote for? And if you voted, and why'd you vote for them? Like, were you able to vote?
I voted. We registered to vote when we was 18, and yes, I voted. Um, I was raised a Democrat. My grandfather was a county supervisor, and um, where we were at in, how do I want to say this? I supported the Democrats because they was more for our middle to lower class economy type people versus the Republicans was more for the rich people.
Do you regret voting for them now or not?
Absolutely not.
Okay. What do you think has changed the most since the 70s?
Social life and how you interact with everybody are we didn't have the social media that you people have today.
Okay, talk about your phones.
Our phones was a landline. That was all we had was a landline. No cordless phones. We got up to change the TV channel. We didn't have a remote. Probably until when I was in grade school, we still had a black and white TV. We didn't. I remember us getting a color TV, and that was a big deal. A communication, we could only call from Gilman and Laurel. Any other community that you called, Grinnell, Marshalltown, Tama, Toledo, was all what we called long distance, and you had to pay for that phone call, and they charged you by the minute. So, I, being of several children in the family, we was limited to how long we could talk on the phone, and we was limited to we only had one TV in the house, so you only got to pick one TV show to watch a night or a week, one night a week, one show, and the rest of your siblings chose their shows also. The big treat at our house was Sunday night. We got to have popcorn, and we either split a 16-ounce bottle of pop with your siblings, or you got a glass of Kool-Aid. That was our treat. We didn't have candy. We didn't have chips. We had ate a lot of chicken, and with my parents being farmers, we had our own meat, so had a lot of ground beef, and chicken is pretty much what we ate, and potatoes, because that filled us up.
Okay. I think that's it.
Okay.
Okay.